What's poppin', everybody? This is Bro54. I got a few requests to show the deck list for my Destiny Hero deck that I used in the recent matches that I posted. The reason why I didn't want to show the deck is because it isn't exactly a definitive version. I don't have all of the cards since this is Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel and not Dev Pro, so the extra deck is not exactly how it should be. And because it's a very standard vanilla Destiny Hero deck, usually when I use D heroes, I incorporate a dark synchro aspect with bells and dark end, void ogre, that sort of thing, and have a sort of like Teledad feel to it. And I also squeeze in like a masked hero, the masked hero cards to be able to summon Dark Law. But this is a pretty standard build. D heroes have enough cards in their own archetype that are good now, so you can build a straight Destiny Hero deck without any other cards. The key thing is summoning Dominance with Fusion Destiny, a very broken fusion card. It's essentially like Shadow Fusion, only it doesn't really have a condition. It's free. You're going to destroy the Destiny hero at the end of your opponent's turn, but in the case of Dominance, when he dies, we can revive D heroes for free, three of them. And this is why I decided to include Dreadmaster, a card that normally you wouldn't use in any sort of D hero deck or D hero engine. But when this guy revives, he prevents all of the D heroes from being destroyed by any effect, battle, or whatever. And you also don't get any battle damage that turn. So he can also function as a sort of a hand trap like Waboku in a way. So basically, this is how the deck goes. You try and summon Dominance, and then with Dreadmaster, you flock the board with D heroes, and his attack is going to get even stronger. And it's basically a D hero beatdown deck. It has also a pretty good rank 4, I guess, toolbox, you could say. You can enable rank 4 easily thanks to D hero Drill Dark. And that's basically it. We have a little bit of a hand trap defense with the two Dyne attacks. You can also boost the attack of your D heroes, and you have basically plenty of options since all of these cards have dual effects and stuff. I have the one dasher in just because he's a good D hero monster to revive with dominance effect. It gives more attack to Dreadmaster, and also gives me another semi high attack monster to attack with if my opponent has a bunch of monsters. If we had a better like level 6D hero, then maybe I would use a different card. But for now, it's Dasher. I got the 3 Blade Masters too, so we have a little bit of a Kalut, honest hand trap aspect as well in the battle phase. Decider, one Decider is one of my favorite cards here. It's just very good, dude. Decision Guy, Decider, gives you that +1 with his effect. Can save you from burn damage too with his other effect. And his effect that big monsters can't attack him can really just come up. It's not something that you activate, it's a continuous built-in effect. So they gotta like negate it somehow. It doesn't activate for them. It doesn't activate for your opponent to just negate with an effect that negates and destroy. They have to negate his effect as a continuous card, if that makes sense. Triple Celestial, standard, remove him, and then you can draw 2 cards from the graveyard. His effect that can destroy continuous spell cards can also come up against pendulums too, so that's nice. Standard 3D draw. 1 allure. I only have 1 allure. Obviously, if you have more, you can make the deck be more turbo, but you probably need to run more D heroes too because you don't really want to remove your Destiny heroes. You want to send them to the graveyard or just keep them around for effects. The 2 draw hand. Nice effect. Don't use this effect to give your opponent free cards. Only use it like when you really need a card and you know that, okay, a few more pieces and I can OTK my opponent. That sort of thing. Triple MST. Other standard cards, I guess, like Regeki, Harpy's Feather Duster, Reborn, the 1 Rhoda. I do want E-Hero Stratus too. He can be kind of good like if you open with him or if you don't really have much going on. You got Rhoda, you can just summon him and get a search. His effect to pop spell and trap cards can also prove useful. When it comes to the traps, Call of the Haunted is pretty good in this deck, so I do 2. It's basically your way to gain the effect of Dreadmaster too, besides using Dominance. So you can summon him during your opponent's turn. They basically can't do shit. They gotta like remove the monsters or something, banish them if they want to get rid of them. And once again, just help you slowly mini flock the board so you can boost this attack. Black Horn of Heaven, you can exchange that for like a Solemn Warning or like a Solemn Judgment, any of the other Solemn cards. But I don't have them, and Black Horn is a free card too. It doesn't you have don't have to pay life points. Magic Drain is a card that I like in a lot of my decks. It's a counter trap card that's gonna negate a spell card for free, and if your opponent wants to discard a card, they can gain the effect, but it's still a sort of a minus. I mean, these days a lot of spell cards can get banished from the graveyard and they can gain additional effect, but I still like the card. So it just gives me an additional defense too if I want to set a bunch of cards if my opponent wants to use Harpy's Feather Duster. And same with D Tactics. D Tactics is a phenomenal card. I just don't like when I see two of them together and I can't really utilize it. If you do have it though, and you use Fusion Destiny, you get like a free banish on your opponent's field or hand essentially. And the attack boost it gives you every turn is pretty nice. I also like the effect that once again, if I have it set, my opponent dusters it, then you get a free search. It's sort of a floater trap card, so it's great. So I did one, I did two, then I did one, then I wanted to do two again. It's a difficult choice, but it's a great card, so that's why it's in there. And then a few of the other cards, like Over Destiny, this card can be potentially very dead if you see it early and you don't have a Dreadmaster in the graveyard. But when you do see it at the right time, I mean, it just gives you that free teleport summon from the deck. And it's just really good. Help you flock the board, make more combos, make more summons, that kind of thing. So that's why I decided to include it. The Warrior Returning Alive, once again, I mean, it's just something to give me another one of my warriors. We can recover E-Hero Stratos, get Blade Master, get anybody back to the hand essentially. Even Dynatak if we feel like we need more defense. And that's basically it. Extra deck, I mean, I only have just one of each of the fusions. To be honest, I don't really know. Like, Fusion Destiny got semi-limited in the real-life Yu-Gi-Oh! Ban list. So I don't know exactly if any of the other cards are going to get hit. What are they going to do? I know that there's more powerful D heroes coming in the future that are already out in real life. I think there's like the Fusion Enforcer. That guy is pretty broken. But I mean, essentially, if you do things right, games are really short these days. That's the nature of the Yu-Gi-Oh game. So if you summon your one dominance and do things right, it's going to be all you need, essentially. Dystopia guy is also pretty good, giving you a little bit of burn, and you can pop cards during your opponent's turn. It's annoying that we can't chain any time, but more of that on a different video. And the D-Hero Dangerous, he can come up too when you want to push for game. Discard cards from your hand and stuff. Just discard everything, boost your attack, go for high damage. Can use the effect on your opponent's turn. So that's pretty good. Some of the links are very important too. Specifically, the extra hero Cross Crusader, I think is his name. So this guy is awesome because he's an easy sort of, link monster. You just need two hero monsters. So it's like a rank 4 exceed, you could say. Standard synchro, whatever. You summon the dude, and then you can get any D hero from your graveyard. So this includes any of the fusions, like you can revive Dominance, you can revive Dreadmaster. So once again, help you flock the board with a bunch of heroes. Dreadmaster attack is going to get boosted. I mean, if you just have one Dreadmaster and one Dominance, it's like you have two guys that are 3k or 29k essentially. So it's pretty good. And it also allows us to go to the extra hero decimator. Like if you just want a strong beatdown monster, you don't have any other D heroes on the board, and it just works out to summon that guy. That's another option. And then the rest of the cards are just the stuff that I have. I crafted a 101 because it's one of my favorite rank 4s. I like to use this guy better than Castel because of the higher attack, the fact that he can be defensive too, and basically that's the reason. I mean, Abyss Dweller, kind of standard. Nightmare, Evil Swarm Nightmare. If you want to try and stun your opponent, depending on what they're playing. I mean, It's just filler cards. Heartland Dragon can be useful when you want to poke for that final game. King Arthur, just another rank 4 I had laying around. Don't really have anything better. And Evil Swarm Ouroboros. Sometimes you can't go for that, triple rank 4 play. And I have this guy and then the Thunder Dragon dude. He can nuke everybody, but most of the time Ouroboros is going to be the better play because you can poke a card from your opponent's hand too. And this is basically the deck, guys. Like I've said, is nothing really too intricate. I mean, maybe in regards with the numbers, I have a better grasp and I have the right numbers of cards so that it's consistent enough, not too many cards dead, but you will have some cards dead. Just a nice blend of offense, defense, you know. It's a D-Hero beatdown deck. Nothing more to it. No Dark Synchro, no Mask Hero Engine. You could definitely incorporate those cards in the deck if you have the cards and you want to change it up. But this is the build that I used for most of the matches that I showed. So if you want to net deck it, now you can. I'll post more matches with D-Heroes and then I'm going to move on to another deck. Just using Master Duel, having fun with it. It's very difficult to get more cards now that you use up the starting gems you get. But I'll be able to show more stuff in the future. So, hope you guys subscribe to the channel, leave a like, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you guys next time. What up?